We begin the episode with Johnny Storm riding in his supercar and running away from a dangerous robot that is chasing him throughout the city. He contemplates his luck in regards to getting chased by robots all the time, as it seems. Reed Richards calls him and advises him to not engage with the robot in any circumstance, at least until backup arrives and aids him. The robot corners Johnny and races to face him and the car in an alley. And as if Johnny didn't even catch what Reed Richards just said, or maybe he is just that stubborn, Johnny activates his Human Torch powers and ditches his car to hit the robot and explode in its stupid face. The Fantastic Four team basically facepalm themselves because it is just so classic of Johnny to do this. The robot comes out of the explosion with some damage, but still attacks Johnny. The robot then shoots some kind of laser at him, but Johnny retaliates and destroys the robot. The rest of the Fantastic Four team show up as Johnny celebrates and gloats about his victory, while all of them are slightly peeved. Suddenly, the laser shot from earlier takes effect, and Johnny evaporates right in front of their eyes. Sue Storm is panicking at the sight of her brother vanishing, and she berates Reed Richards for saying Johnny would be safe. Reed tells her that he didn't evaporate and merely got teleported to another galaxy, as if this is going to ease her mind. It doesn't, and Sue Storm loses consciousness thinking about her brother being alone and far away. The Thing makes fun of Reed Richards' methods to calm Sue as they carry her body and make her rest in the jet for the time being. The Thing tells Reed that he will cover for the Fantastic Four at a charity event they were supposed to visit, while Reed does the harder job of finding where Johnny is. Johnny Storm wakes up in a dark room with a collar strapped to his neck. He tries to fiddle with it for a while, until the lights of the room turn on, and we see that he is in some kind of court surrounded by aliens. One of them, who is sitting on a throne, calls himself Ronan, the Accuser, and he accuses Johnny Storm of committing several crimes against the interest of the Kree Empire. Johnny thinks this whole thing is a joke, and is taking a very nonchalant approach. He tries to fly away using his powers, but he quickly finds out that he is indeed trapped as he struggles to break the walls, and his collar activates, turning his powers off and rendering him weak. Meanwhile, Reed Richards traces the energy signals, and Sue Storm gets so angry at Reed dodging questions and trying to comfort her that it drives Reed to quickly work and find out where Johnny is. Reed traces his energy signals back to Central Park somehow, but we see Ronan the Accuser teleporting the arena into Central Park. Sue and Reed race to the energy dome, and Sue does everything in her power to break into the dome and free her little brother. But Reed keeps telling her that it is not going to be this simple. Ronan tells Johnny that his friends are trying to save him, but it is not going to work, as he still needs to stand judgment. He allows him some form of defense, and Johnny chooses Reed Richards. Ronan teleports Reed and Johnny gives him the rundown to save him. Ronan tells Reed to choose 2 witnesses for his defense, and he obviously picks the last 2 members of the Fantastic Four. Reed quickly explains the situation for Sue and the Thing, then diverts his attention to Ronan to ask him about Johnny's crimes. Ronan shows him all the times Johnny destroyed Kree robots. Reed tells him that it was a misunderstanding and forces Johnny to say sorry and to be ready to maybe do something in return. Ronan thinks Johnny's attacks are an attack on the Empire. Sue Storm and the Thing try to butt in and say that Johnny is a hero, but Ronan plays a video of her calling her brother irresponsible to his face. Ronan overrules the witnesses and declares Johnny guilty and thus to be executed. Reed tries to defend him one last time, but the request is denied. Ronan frees some monsters to take care of Johnny, and the Fantastic Four jump in the pit to fight alongside him. Ronan jumps in as well, and declares the Fantastic Four enemies to the Kree Empire. They fight, and Ronan proves to be a strong opponent, but the Kree crowd slowly falls in love with the Fantastic Four and cheer them on. Ronan is angry, but the leader of the Kree Empire interrupts and favors the word of the Kree people. Ronan goes on a hilarious meltdown as he teleports away, and the Fantastic Four are finally freed. The Fantastic Four are just returning back from a mission with the Thing, and Sue Storm arguing with Johnny and berating him for being reckless with his powers. All of this is happening while they are being spied on by a small flying device that entered the hangar at the last minute. Reed goes back to his lab to conduct some nerdy science shit, and the small flying device suddenly shoots out some kind of wire that penetrates Reed Richards' neck and injects him with some kind of fluid. From what we can tell, this apparently transferred Doom's consciousness into Reed's body. So Reed is now Dr. Doom in disguise as Reed Richards, while Reed Richards is now inhabiting Dr. Doom's body, which is supposedly imprisoned. Johnny wakes up the next day and is surprised to see a whole camera crew following him around. Sue tells him that this is his punishment, as the crew films a day in the life of the Fantastic Four and keeps him on edge. Meanwhile, Reed tries to escape Doom's prison, but instead gets a call from Doom inhabiting his body and taunting him about how he will take his whole life away from him. Doom then goes about his day in the Fantastic Four's home. The Thing meets with him and asks about the experiments that will turn him back human. But Doom tells him he has more pressing matters, causing Thing to be the first victim of his plan to destroy Reed Richards' relationships. Doom then goes to the garage and lambasts Johnny in front of the whole camera crew. Back to Doom's prison, Reed Richards manages to crack the code for the mask and use its adamantium lining to break free from the prison. He goes down to Doom's lair, but is stopped by some of the Doom bots. They try to stop him, because they have orders to stop even Doom himself. But Reed imitates Doom so well that he orders them to self-destruct, and they listen. Meanwhile, Doom disables the security systems and comes face-to-face with Sue Storm. She reminds him of his schedule, but he attempts to flirt with her instead of focusing on his work, and Sue immediately finds it suspicious and makes up an excuse to leave. Sue, Johnny, and the Thing meet together and discuss how Reed has been acting differently lately. Suddenly, alerts blare throughout the facility, calling for the Fantastic Four to unite because of an intruder. It turns out to be the actual Reed Richards, but his Doom body is causing all kinds of havoc. Reed tries to explain his situation to the Fantastic Four, but they don't believe him and attack him. He wakes up after the beating to find himself captured by them while Doom goes about still pretending to be him. Doom dismisses the team like an asshole and takes Doom to the basement. The team's suspicion is off the charts at this point. The team catches him red-handed, trying to kill Reed and blow the place up. Sue trusts Reed and attacks the disguised Doom, and the team follows her. Reed goes back to his lab and manages to transfer his and Doom's mind back to their rightful bodies and finally defeat him. Doom escapes at the last second. I kinda like this Fantastic Four show. The episodes felt snappy and to the point, but not without forgetting to be actually fun and entertaining. I like its episodic nature. Felt like a long time since I have watched something that doesn't require years of investment. All in all, it was a good first introduction to the team and their villains so far, and I would be happy to do more in the future if you like it. This brings us to the end of today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel to get more videos like this one. Your support helps us grow. And tell me, what do you think of these two episodes? What do you think of the overall art style? Which villain do you want to see the Fantastic Four go up against? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them. And if you're watching till now, thank you. I'll see you in another video soon.